Oh. Hey, folks, time for another edition of Ring Rust Redux, bringing you your viral assault on the world of professional wrestling news. So, we've got a couple of stories here, a few, technically, we're going to get. But anyway, the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian took part in some of the most extreme battles in WrestleMania history, pushing each other to the absolute limits and what they could do with tables, ladders, and chairs. This WrestleMania, the mood when the two pairs are in the same building will be a lot less intense. The duo that reeks with awesomeness will have the honor of inducting Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley into the WWE Hall of Fame during the 2018 induction ceremony on Friday, April 6th, from New Orleans, streaming live on the award-winning WWE Network. So, read straight off of WWE.com, which I posted actually to the CHMR's Ring Rust Facebook page. Go on over there and give it a like if you're so inclined, if you haven't already, of course. So, that was a lot. That was what some people would say. That was when wrestling was wrestling. So it was well, the Attitude Era was when a lot of people got into wrestling and when a lot of people got out of wrestling. When they stopped doing the Attitude Era stuff, they said, "Oh, well, I'm not interested anymore." So now, and then people got into it during the Attitude Era. People got out of it, saying, "This isn't the way. This isn't wrestling that I want to watch." So. And some have come back and most haven't, so who knows what they're watching now? Different wrestling, not wrestling at all. They might have just said, "Oh, I guess I've grown out of it." So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing the Hall of Fame ceremony. If I do get the DVD or Blu-ray, I'm sure it will be included. They put out a DVD set for the actual overall, like a collection, right, of the Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure, or the best of something. Anyway, I'm sure there's something on the network, the aforementioned award-winning WWE Network, or as a flub on today's episode of Ring Rust was the NXT Network. There's not enough NXT to do a whole network, but anyway, it's a funny thought. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. It's going to be interesting to see also who's going to be inducting Mark Henry into the Hall of Fame, who's going to be inducting Kid Rock into the Hall of Fame, both recent announcees, I guess is the right word, assuming that's a word at all, who are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. A lot of speculation. The Undertaker will be putting Kid Rock in because of that American Badass theme he did for him back in the, again, aforementioned Attitude Era. I joked, of course, Stacy Keibler could induct Kid Rock because he's the one who told us she's got legs and knows how to use them. But anyway, can't think of too many people who would induct Kid Rock, so probably The Undertaker is the most likely, and possibly the only. Mark Henry is another question, though. Like, who I wonder would induct Mark Henry? Probably not. I don't know if there's anyone who would be a good, like, it's like, oh yes, when I think Mark Henry, I think that person, or that's still alive, of course. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure the Hand is still kicking around somewhere, or slapping around, I guess. But somehow I don't think WWE is going to use the Hand to induct someone. Is Tony Atlas still around? Because Tony Atlas was his manager for a little while there. So I'm sure they'll come up with somebody. So be interesting to see who they come up with, who inducts Mark Henry. It might just be someone from the office saying this is Mark Henry's accolades, and you know, or maybe they'll dig up the first person who was the first inductee into the Hall of Fame. Don't know. So, anyway, be interesting to see how that plays out. Also, from the CHMR's Ring Rust Facebook page, for the past few months, WWE has been treating fans to a steady diet of Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt matches. And if you've seen one of their battles, then you've pretty much seen them all. Until now. On Monday's episode of Raw, the main event slot was filled by the Ultimate Deletion, which may be the wildest thing we've seen on WWE in years. What the hell was that? Oh, you'll find out because this edition of Nerdist News on Nerdist.com sends you to deletion. So Nerdist.com every now and then posts a wrestling related story, not just what The Rock is doing in movies, what movie The Rock is doing. But I mean, they'll go all the way with it. Usually, there's obviously a number of wrestling fans on Nerdist.com. I wonder. So since they have a podcast network for Nerdist.com. Anyway, something to look into, I suppose. I don't think they do like I do on my Twitter feed and take a story that has nothing to do with wrestling and make it and force wrestling into it. But they have someone who, is a big wrestling fan, obviously. At least one person is a wrestling fan, obviously. And I haven't seen Raw yet, so I think I'll see it tonight or tomorrow, whenever I get a chance to see it. So I'll see what the final deletion was all about, and see what might come of Bray Wyatt being dunked into the Lake of Reincarnation. A lot of speculation as to what will happen to him. Come back repackaged. I don't know. Maybe he'll just shave his beard. I don't know. Who knows? And finally, as Roman Reigns was in the process of being taken into custody by U.S. Marshals for violating his suspension this past Monday night on Raw, Universal Champion Brock Lesnar brutally attacked the handcuffed big dog, who needed to be rushed to a local medical facility in the wake of one of the most callous assaults in WWE history. Really? With Shawn Michaels super kicking Marty Jannetty and throwing him through the barbershop window, that's the most callous assault? Brock Lesnar with Rey Mysterio strapped to a gurney, smacking him against the ring post, that's the most callous? Okay then. Little is known about Reigns' condition at this time, but one has to imagine that the Beast incarnates actions have changed the landscape of the Universal Championship match at WrestleMania. After all, most superstars have difficulty simply standing upright in a match against the Conqueror. What chance does Reigns have if he's still recovering from Beast-incurred injuries? Once again, from WWE.com. So, this is part of the storyline that they're putting out there for the fact that Roman Reigns got himself suspended for his actions backstage. Not what you saw on Raw last week, but that was just, I don't know. Well, he's had some harsh words apparently with various management members, and they say he's indefinitely suspended. I don't know what that means, if he's actually suspended or if he's just out until WrestleMania so they don't have to have him on TV until WrestleMania. Who knows? So, looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and looking forward to hearing from you. All you gotta do is go down to the bottom of this video and give me a comment, give me a like or a dislike or whatever, and tell me what you think of this viral assault video. And if you're so inclined, if you want to check out the full edition of Ring Rust, pop on over to markjabroni.podomatic.com and check out my musicular tribute to WWE Hall of Famer Sting, who just recently had his birthday, and see what other news I talked about. Didn't talk about anything I talked about here, so I talked about a whole different slew of news on the main show, Ring Rust. So if you're so inclined, pop it over, give it a look, give it a like, do whatever you're gonna do anyway. So, later days.